Sharky being down today. Obviously, a really effective, pretty good lineup yesterday over there, righty and lefty. So we needed an arm. We couldn't really wait, 5-6 days to see how it goes. So getting him fully healthy and back is important. Ryan Weathers had history with him. Actually, his debut was here in 2020 in the bubble. At 19 years old, threw him right in the fire in the playoffs against, I think, the Dodgers. I could be mistaken. Pretty cool moment for him. It was the one time where fans were allowed, and his parents got to see him in his debut in 2020, which not a lot of people got to see because it was here. He was throwing 97 miles an hour. I feel like he's really matured. Obviously, 19 to 23 now, I think he is. He's got a lot left in the tank. He's going to keep getting better and better. Really young pitcher still. You don't realize how young he is because you've heard his name for so long. But I think he's going to be a valuable piece for us, whether it's high leverage situations in the bullpen, length in the bullpen, or a starter maybe this year or definitely next year.
How about, obviously when he was with San Diego, both of you kind of tracked it, but is there a sense of what he needs to work on to get to that former first round pick status, the guy who was able to debut so early?
Yeah, I think his velo has creeped up throughout the year, which is nice, and even last year. Talking with some guys over there that obviously we keep in touch with. A lot of us are still friends with some San Diego guys. We're trying to figure out exactly what he was working on, and talking with Ryan today. It's just fastball location. It's still 95, 97, but he can throw it in all four quadrants, which is important for him. His changeup has actually been the pitch that he's worked on the hardest, and it has been the most effective as well, coming off the fastball. I still think his sweeper is going to be a really good pitch that he'll continue to work on, but he has I think he's going to have three above average pitches at some point by the end of the year, because he's going to continue to work. The guy's a worker, he's not content, and he's got some edge to him, which I love. Grew up the right way, obviously with his dad, so I think he's good. There's a lot left in the tank for him, and he's going to have a long career, and we're just hoping he can get better and better here while he's here.
With Soriano starting today, we've seen how effective he's been for you guys out, and when he's going well, what's working?
Slider is really good. I think you know the numbers against the slider, teams against the slider, but he throws 95, 96 miles an hour as well. I think we'll see what it looks like as a starter. Obviously, when you come in out of the bullpen, you can let it go, and you don't really have a pitch count, or you don't know when you're going to come out, so you can just let it fly. So I think we'll see what it looks like when he comes out of being a starter for the first time this year. But I anticipate it being very similar stuff, and I also think his changeup has gotten a lot better. That he can throw to righties and lefties, so he's got some weapons, and we're excited to see what he looks like today.
What's impressed you most about Brian Fortes so far?
Fortes,
Nick,
so Nick's blocking ability is really good, and he continues to work on that. I think Rod and Griff Benedict have done really good working with him, and getting in a position where guys can throw any pitch at any time with a guy on third base, and they feel comfortable throwing it. He has changed his stance probably 3 or 4 times this year, trying to figure out exactly what works for him. I think he found something that would really work for him as far as what his load looks like, his hand position, and getting his posture right. So I think there's a lot left, still a lot more for Nick as far as on the offensive side that he's just tapping into now.
Obviously it's the back-to-back big burger. I think he has the day off just to get him
Yeah, we've been running him new trade, long game the other day, and then day game the next day. Threw him right back out there. So 13 game stretch. He's part of that, consecutive games in a row. Trying to get everybody, one day or so off. The tough one is that guy at second base trying to find one. He does not want one. So I think you'll see, everybody probably get one off. And so far a couple guys that we've had to, obviously with the health component. But I think you'll see at least one guy in this 13-game stretch, or one game in this 13-game stretch off.
You mentioned it with Luis. Obviously, he's banged up like everyone, but how do you? I was like, hey, maybe just a day though could help. Because you say he's obviously a guy that doesn't want to.
Yeah, I mean, you look around the league and some of these really good teams. A lot of these players are playing every day, and they love playing baseball. Louis is one of those guys who just loves to play baseball. You look at the Freddie Freemans and the Swansons and the Albies and these guys. I mean, you look, Riley, they're playing 160, 162 every day, and it's really impressive to see because they take care of their bodies so well that they can post every day. Louis is one of those guys. He wants to play every day. He loves to play baseball. It's tough as a manager because you want your best hitter out there all the time, but you want to make sure he feels okay too. I do feel like there's a value to have him in the lineup, just the presence that he has in the lineup. If you don't feel 100%, it means a lot to us and to the guys in the clubhouse.
Are you the kind of manager at night, sometimes you go home and you kind of pencil down some different lineups and different things like that, or do you ever get into that?
I do that morning and night. Yeah. There's guys that feel really comfortable in certain positions. There's some guys that are an absolute hard no in certain positions that they do not want to be there for whatever reason. We talk to a lot of guys on why they are where they are as far as where they are in the lineup. And so, yeah, you pencil some stuff. You try to figure out what their bullpen looks like, what the availability is in the opposing team's bullpen looks like, and then try to, do the best you can to navigate that of like, if I was going to manage against that team, what would that look like? So yeah, there's conversation all the time of like, do we need to switch it up? But I also think, and I was just telling Kelly, that when you hit and you go in the box, you don't care if you're fourth, fifth, first, whatever, as the game goes on, you're trying to get a hit or trying to do whatever the game tells you. But I do think there's some value to maybe switch it up every now and then.
How valuable has AJ been to the bullpen, whether it's closing or being a setup guy?
Yeah, I mean, he was extremely valuable, especially early on when he was closing out all those games, and got a big out last night against lefty. I think we're just trying to find lately some soft spots, even though we put him in bases loaded the other day.
Yeah.
To get him back, get his confidence back, get his stuff back, and feel like his stuff is back to where it was earlier in the year. And so, getting him back in that 7th, 8th inning, even the 9th inning rolls when Robbie's off is going to be important for us moving forward.
Are you seeing that? Because it looks like, other than what you said, the bases loaded situation he had to come into, but it seems like he's kind of tracking toward his.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, where he's throwing the pitches and where he's missing is what we look at. And some of the pitches, like that was one home run, the one home run or whatever he gives up, it's just a missed location. Every other pitch was like spot on. Now you see his misses, they're missed in the right spot, where you can't hit them, or it's a ball or fouled off or whatever, and it's just not barreled. So I think that's where we're getting with AJ. He feels really good. You're going to hit these peaks and valleys throughout the year, and hopefully we're back trending the right way.
Thanks, Sid.
Thank you. Thank you.